All right, Sunny Gavaskar joins us live on this special program. Sunny bhai, we heard it from Mohammad Rizwan. He had a very interesting take on this. He said, you know, we're treating it as a three-match series between India and Pakistan. But for that, of course, both teams will have to make it to the final. But what a treat for the fans. You're getting to see India-Pakistan at least the second time. Who knows, maybe the third time in the finals.
Yeah, well, whoever devised this has done a very, very smart thing, because this way, look, the big box office is India v Pakistan. We all know that. And therefore, it was important that if you are going to have a two-week tournament, or a little over the 2 weeks, then you want to use those Sundays, the 3 Sundays, to have India and Pakistan playing. So at least for 2 Sundays now, we've got India v Pakistan happening. And maybe for the next Sunday, which will be the finals, it will be an India-Pakistan encounter as well.
Sahiba, also the Pakistan team, it was a close game when the two teams played last Sunday. This time around, you think Pakistan getting into the groove, the way they dominated against that Hong Kong team, which actually, lost by 40 runs to India, but when it came to the Pakistan game, it was a one-sided encounter. So now you think it's a mouth-watering contest between India and Pakistan. Pakistan also peaking at the right time now?
Well, I think it was just the kind of bounce back that a team needs after losing the first game. The margin of the win is such that it will have given the Pakistani team loads of confidence, particularly as far as the bowling is concerned. Look, when you lose somebody like Shaheen Afridi, you are going to feel just a little bit less than your best. But the way the bowlers have done against Hong Kong and against a team where India's bowlers were mauled, particularly in the final overs, that will give them a lot of confidence.
Okay, Sunny Gavaskar still with us. We'll soon be joined by Harbhajan Singh as well. Meanwhile, all eyes were on Virat Kohli. 2 days before that India-Pakistan encounter, India had an optional training session. But at that training session, you had all the big guns turn up, and Virat Kohli was one of them. And he was, seen practicing with a mask that is a high-altitude mask. Why was he wearing that? This report tells you more. I chanced upon very rare exclusive footage, because this ground right behind me, this is where the Indian team did some fielding drills after doing the net session. And at the fielding drill, I think the standout moment that everyone was trying to capture was that of Virat Kohli running, doing these short sprints, wearing a high altitude mask. Now, for those of you who follow Virat Kohli very closely, you'd remember that we'd seen him train with that high altitude mask, but previously that was done while he was in the gym, either running on the treadmill. So he has done this drill before. For the first time, we saw him do at a training session right here at the ground. Now, for the uninitiated, what does the high altitude mask do? Well, it creates an atmosphere like you're training in a very high altitude. And what happens in high altitude? You have very less oxygen, so it's not easy to run. That's why whenever anyone travels to a high altitude area, you're always told to acclimatize to that situation, because your body is not used to the thin air, the very thin oxygen that is available there, and your lungs aren't used to it, so you're asked not to do any strenuous work. But this is artificial created, the high altitude area, by wearing that high altitude mask. What that does is the oxygen supply is limited, and then he was doing those fast sprints, which then the lungs demand oxygen go in. But if you're reducing the oxygen, it teaches the lungs or prepares the lungs to be stronger, your breathing muscles to be stronger, in which case when you get full supply of oxygen without the mask, they can perform better. We've seen these kind of drills being adopted by a lot of middle distance runners before that. We've seen top level athletes in other international sports do it. Famously in tennis also, we've seen a few top tennis stars do it. So this is a common thing. Top sportsmen do it. Virat, up until now, we had seen him do it in the gym. Today he was doing it in the practice session. So that's one visual that really stands out. Other than that was that of Yuzi Chahal. He was also doing a very interesting drill, and I say interesting because if you remember, during the game versus Pakistan, a very crucial cotton bowl chance was missed by Yuzi Chahal. So today, what was he doing? He was bowling the delivery and no sooner did he let the ball go out of his hand, the fielding coach would hit a ball towards him so that he could catch. So maybe that is a way of getting his reflexes better. So as soon as he throws the ball, there's another ball that is thrown at him so that he can catch by the fielding coach. So it improves your reflexes, gets you better right after leaving that delivery, that you're ready to take a catch. So that was another interesting drill that Yuzvendra Chahal was doing in the fielding session. So that's how the Indian team is gearing up for what promises to be a very exciting Super 4, because you'll have big games coming up one after the other, and the Indian team wants to be on top of its mark. Nikhil Naz in Dubai for India Today.